my name is Sarah. I go by Sarah on Instagram, and today I wanted to tell you guys a little story about something that happened with California Candle Supply. As many of you may know, I am a small business owner and a candle maker, and as such, I do a lot of business with a lot of big candle supply companies. This is about California Candle Supply, and I will link them down below because I think that it should be known what kind of company they are. And I know that that sounds really bad, but let's get into it. About a month ago, I started selling candles up at my job. I started wholesale selling to the owner of the spa that I work at, and so a lot of my inventory disappeared. And I go to Canton, and it's one of the biggest trade shows in the world. So it's a pretty big deal, especially once we start getting closer into the fall and winter months, because then it's like huge. I haven't actually done it yet in these next couple of months. September, well, I just did September, October, November, and December. I'm very excited. From what I've heard, it's going to be amazing. So anyways, last month though, right before September, about halfway through the month is about when all of my inventory kind of started dwindling, and I was like, oh crap, I have to prepare for Canton. So I placed an order to California Candle Supply for one of my biggest selling fall candles, and I'm like, okay, I ordered it just in time to get the fragrance oils, make the candles, and let them cure for, 2 weeks before Canton starts. So I placed the order, and I waited a week for it to get here, and I checked my email every day, 5 times a day, probably more. And so the day that it's supposed to come, I get all of my candle jars prepped, and I'm just waiting for it to show up in the mail. I get a notification saying that it was dropped off, and I go outside, and it's not there. And I'm wondering, that's weird. So I checked my email. It turns out that whenever I ordered the fragrance oils, I forgot to update my address from my old address. It was delivered to my old address in West Fort Worth. Now, just to give you a little bit of perspective, I only had a couple of days left until it was just the last day that I could make the candles and have them actually be ready for Canton. I know that some of you might be thinking, why didn't you just drive back to your old address and get it? Well, my old address was about 4 hours away, and it was 6 o'clock in the afternoon, so it would have been during rush hour that I left, which means I wouldn't have gotten back until like 3 in the morning, maybe, and I was opening the next morning, which means I was getting up at 5:30. And also, the old place that we used to live at, I don't remember if I ever told y'all why we moved. I feel like I did, but I can't remember. I think for legal reasons, I was nervous to say. God, I can't remember. For safety reasons, it would have been really, really bad for me to go back to that old apartment. I kind of panicked, and I grabbed my keys, and I was like, I'm gonna go drive to West Fort Worth and get the fragrance oils. Like, maybe I'll just knock on the door, and they'll be like, who are you? And I can just say, hey, I used to live here. I just ordered something, and it was like $100, and I kind of need it like today, and it's in your mailbox. Can I? Anyways, the reason that I got talked out of doing that, though, was because I was reminded that I would be getting there at about 10 o'clock at night, and knocking on a total stranger's door, asking them to go open up a mailbox. And if my neighbor was still there, I might actually get murdered trying to get this fragrance oil. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to take the loss. Oh well. Whilst I was having this panic attack over my fragrance oils, I actually I responded to my confirmation email from California Candle Supply. Which, thinking now about the fact that I responded to the confirmation email is dumb, because with most companies, that's not like a real email address. That's not a person, especially not at like 6:30 in the afternoon. I emailed the confirmation back, which I guess went to like customer service or something, but I emailed them just completely panic typing saying, oh my God, I just realized that I put the wrong address whenever I ordered this, and it was just put as delivered, and it's at the wrong address, and I have to make these candles tonight for a huge show that I have, and I just got a wholesale client. I mean, I just like personal life spilled everything, and just was like freaked out, and I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. And like, of all people for me to like freak out to, I emailed the fragrance oil company, like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna call the new address owners? Like, I don't even know how I don't know what I was expecting them to do because there's nothing that they could do. But these sweet angels from heaven emailed me back. Like, I'm not even kidding, about 5 minutes later. Like, as I'm still having the panic attack. They actually emailed me back. I'm gonna read you what California Candle Supply said to me. Hi, Sarah. I'm so sorry to hear that. I do not think that the Postal Service is able to do anything in regards to changing the delivery address, as the package has already been dropped off and has become the current tenant's property unless you have mail forwarding set up with them in advance. Which is true. The moment that the box is put into their mailbox, it's their property. I recommend to find the contact information for the current tenant, as they may be willing to send some items to you if you were unable to make the trip to collect the items. We are after hours here, and I can give you a call tomorrow if you would like to. Please let me know in an email back, but sadly there isn't much that we can do. So the simple fact of the matter, though, that somebody actually reached out to me like immediately and was giving me advice on what to do, because I mean, I don't know if you've ever had a panic attack, but whenever you have a panic attack, you don't really think logically. So having them email me those suggestions helped a lot, because I mean, obviously I can't contact the new tenant. It's an apartment complex. Like, I can't, there's no way that I can do that. And I even remember living at that apartment complex, and the front office never answers their phone. I remember I would go in to pay my rent and I would watch them ignore the phones that were constantly ringing, and it made me so mad. Because I'm like, I have called up here so many times needing someone to answer the phone, and they just don't. So at that point, after reading that email, it calmed me down to a point where I was like, okay, let's think of what the logical options here are. And eventually I got to the point where I was like, okay, I can call the US Post Office tomorrow and ask. I mean, there's no harm in asking. That's probably not going to do anything. Or I could drive to Fort Worth tonight, but I might actually risk getting myself killed. So that's probably not worth all this fragrance oil. So I took a loss. I responded to that email and I told her that, you know, I'm just gonna give up because it's just too complicated of a situation. I'm gonna need these candles at some point anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in another order as soon as I have the money to, because at the moment I didn't have the money to do that. And then whenever I said that to them, they gave me a discount on the next order, which I thought was really, really sweet, because they didn't have to do that at all. It was completely my fault. I'm the one that put in the wrong address and didn't notice until it was delivered. That's 1,000% my fault. They did not have to give me any kind of discount, but they did. They gave me free shipping and discounted the oils a little bit, which was really, really, really sweet. I mean, you may already know from one of my old videos, but it got forwarded to me. I had just received an email like a month prior to this whole situation saying that my mail forwarding had ended. And so I assumed that this was gone forever. I still ended up getting that second order that I made, which was actually bigger because I felt like the fact that they gave me a discount, I'm like, okay, I should probably order more this time, which I'm going to use it anyways at some point. So I'm like, yeah, let's just go ahead and order a bigger order. So I got that. Oh, and they put it on rush. I completely forgot to mention that. Whenever I ordered the second order, they had it shipped out that day. Like, they're so nice. They're so nice. Anyways, so that order got to me really, really fast. I did want to wait to open this box until I actually did this video, because like I know that this is a small box. I know that this is a small order. And for some people, you might understand, and other people might not understand that something as small as this can give somebody a panic attack. If you understand why I flipped out so bad over something so small, please let me know in the comments so I don't feel so alone. But here it is. I got it back. Which is great, because these candles are selling out like crazy, so now I just have a whole bunch more. But I ended up emailing California Candle Supply, and I asked them if I could mention this whole situation on my YouTube channel, because, you know, as a small business owner, and I'm sure that y'all are the same, it means a lot whenever you work with a company that very obviously gives a crap about their customers, because we as small business owners, of course, we care so much about our customers and we want their experience to be great. And so it's really, really nice whenever we work with other bigger, more established companies that also take that same amount of care and time with us, because we are also customers whenever we have to purchase stuff for our small business. Sometimes it can be kind of hard because with the bigger companies, a lot of times you don't get that personal touch of customer service. But I just wanted to make this video and let you guys know that California Candle Supply went so far above and beyond with emailing me immediately whenever I left them this long spiel of nonsense of just me panic typing. They emailed me back right away with suggestions and things to do to kind of help me just calm down and start thinking logically. They talked to me for the next few days about what to do. They gave me a discount on my next purchase, and then they put it on rush and had it shipped out that day, and it came like 3 days later. So I was able to actually make my candles in time for my trade show. They were amazing. They're amazing, and I just wanted to just mention how amazing they were. I do want to do a giveaway. Right now, I feel like all the stuff that I have to give away is really dumb. I'm in a weird place with my channel right now, and I appreciate y'all so much, so much. So, as always, be excellent to each other, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.